Today we are making the packaging for a fidget spinner that my buddy Tom and I are making. When I told my friend Joe from the YouTube Answers with Joe that I was making a fidget spinner, he told me that he was making a video on how fidget spinners can maybe make you smarter.
Unless you've been living under a rock lately, you've seen one of these. They're called fidget spinners. But it also just happens to coincide with some research that suggests that fidgeting could make you smarter.
So I sent him one of our prototypes to use as a prop, and he promptly decided to give it away.
If you want to win this spinner, yes, this spinner right here that I'm holding in my hand, stick around to the end of the video. I'll show you how you can win it with a nice little note from me.
I have links to both Joe's video on whether or not fidget spinners make you smarter and Tom's video on the machining of the spinner that we're designing packaging for today, listed in the description below. As Joe so eloquently put it, we are doing a three-way collaboration. Put your best jokes in the comments below. Now let's get to the design. One of my main goals when designing anything is to separate my work from everyone else's. It's easy and tempting to take a design and copy it and put your logo on it. But you have to ask yourself, what does that look like from the user perspective? How does that in any way make what you did more appealing to the user? When I looked at what other companies were doing to package their spinners, I saw a bunch of commodity, off-the-shelf solutions. Companies are using cheap cardboard boxes, tins, and foam to package spinners that are selling for a couple $100. The design of the packaging is all the same, and with the exception of a logo being screened onto them, boring. We're holding tolerances that no one else is holding and using details that are quite frankly more difficult for fabrication, but ultimately result in a better product. I wanted the package design to reflect that level of sophistication. I wanted it to be something owners could put on their shelves, and it would stand out against the white noise that is the norm. For inspiration, we looked at old Stare-It toolboxes that Tom had laying around. And we asked ourselves, could we do something that would stand the test of time like they did? Even when using a CNC for production, breaking down rough stock into machinable parts always requires an amount of traditional woodworking. Since we plan on making and selling about 2 million of these, I do need to rely on my CNC for the main production. The cam for this is fairly straightforward. The initial clearing is done with a 2D adaptive clearing path and a 1/4 inch straight end mill. You'll see as the tool path gets down to more complex levels, the adaptive strategy starts to change from an all-out clearing to much more defined areas. This is also the first time I used my router deflector shield. It did an incredible job of keeping the dust from flying all over the place. I will have a video on it very soon. For the larger diameter details, I was able to use the 1/4 inch bit for the finishing pass. Typically, I leave all adaptive paths about 4/1000 shy of the final dimensions. Now we switch over to an 1/8 inch straight end mill and make a pass around the perimeter edges. We also polish off any details that were too small for the 1/4 inch tool. The final operation on the box bottoms is a 10/1000 chamfer along the edges just to clean up all the fuzzies. The next shot you're going to see is what the test pieces look like without this cleanup. The layout of the box allows the spinner to have the buttons installed or on display. If you have both the brass and the aluminum buttons, the extra set will fit in the box. One of the toughest tasks was making the boxes right-sized so the spinners just slip out. I messed with adding and subtracting 1/1000th of an inch around the perimeter. Just the right fit is about 1/1000th oversize. 2/1000ths was too sloppy, and on size was just too tight. After the main box was fleshed out, I started working on the lid. It's maple, and Tom and I decided to call our venture Guru Machine Works. I think it has a cool ring to it, and it accurately describes Tom's status as a master level tool and die maker. I'm cutting counterbores for the fasteners that will go in the lid. These need to be dead straight and on center, or the gaps around the fasteners will be uneven. Of course, I chose to eyeball this. The boxes in the video are shown with a magnet in one corner and a pin in the other, and they open by twisting. Feedback from folks who tried to open them is that these are way too confusing. So the production boxes will have magnets at both corners and the tops will just lift off. I wanted the spinners and buttons to be on display, so the second a new owner opens the box for the first time, they're presented more like jewels and less like a car part. Check out the video of Tom machining this spinner. I love to watch the process of machining, and Tom is a true master. Also, check out Joe's video for a chance to win one of our prototypes. He also has a contest going to guess how long our spinner will spin. The links are below. If you are interested in buying a spinner, we have a pre-sale going right now. The pre-sale is going to be $100 for the spinners, and I'm going to have a discount code for anybody who watches this video in the next week to get another 15% off of that. After our 2-week pre-sale, the spinners will be $120. You can get both aluminum and brass buttons for the spinners, and we'll have extra bearings available as well. If you want to win one of our prototype spinners, be sure and check out Joe's video. The actual production models are going to be slightly different than this. We got some feedback that this one looked a little too similar to another production model, and I really don't want that. So they're going to be slightly different. I'll put a rendering right here. A huge thank you to both Joe and Tom for participating in this 3-way collaboration. We'll check you guys later. Feel free to click or tap on the images to check out some of my past builds. If you like my videos, click on the Greg's Garage logo and all my future videos will show up in your YouTube feed.